Yeah, that's why I'm giving you just 1 or 2 pages homework.
Yes.
Yeah, that's why we're not doing 7 pages in a week. Yeah. But you're getting it, no? And now 40, 41 was explained, then 42 and 43 was easy to get, right? Not just Venkat, everybody. That's why question answers, no? Ask questions. Is there any specific paragraph you don't understand? You should mark it. And then in a session like this, ask.
I'm confused with the very first paragraph. Vasistha says, by the apprehension of the perceived or the knowable, consciousness becomes jiva, living soul, and is apparently involved in creative history. So why is that? Why by the apprehension of the perceived?
Perceived is what?
Perceived is the world.
Correct. The creation. So he calls that creation as noble. Yeah?
Yes.
The consciousness, the living soul. You remember page, I think, 41 or 42 or 41, I think. That the consciousness, emerged into or gave birth to space. And then in space, Hiranyagarbha came. And from Hiranyagarbha or Brahma, all the other elements came. And then these elements interacted with each other. Yeah? Understand here, he said one very beautiful thing. Now the consciousness abandons its previous infinite self. It is somewhere on page 41, I think. Consciousness, because of all this creation out of its own Maya, it abandons its infinite self. It forgets about it and becomes the Hiranyagarbha, becomes that Jiva. Yes? Now this consciousness, it perceives this noble, all these 5 elements, and the interaction between these elements is called noble. And the consciousness becomes the Jiva, the living soul, and is apparently involved in the samsara. Are you getting it? If you watched Cosmos, life on Earth came after a very, very long time. Right? If you remember the entire cosmic calendar, first there was just Earth element for the longest time. And then there was some water or in some other form like acid on some other planets. And slowly, you see that the other elements started coming and they started interacting violently with each other. Yeah, you remember when Guruji says that these 4 elements are in conflict with each other continuously. Air, water, fire and earth. These 4 are in conflict. The 5th one is not in conflict. Which is the 5th one?
Space, ether.
Space. Now recognize this. Why? First space came out. In space, Hiranyagarbha happened. Yeah, it happened. You cannot say it came out. Hiranyagarbha is just a womb formation out of which the other 4 elements came out. Get it? This is all so much Maya. Even the consciousness got lost in it. That's what he's trying to say there. That the consciousness becomes the Jiva, the living soul, and is apparently involved in repetitive history, in samsara. Yeah? Then the false notion of a knowable, apart from the knower is the consciousness, ceases. What is the false notion of knowable?
That everything around is real.
That this creation, this people, this mountains, this planets, this trees, these insects, these animals, these humans, that everything that I see is all real. Yeah? The consciousness is caught up in that. Yeah. But when that false notion drops, it ceases, yeah, this consciousness regains its equilibrium. Let's say this Purusha principle inside Rajiv. Yeah. Right now that Purusha is lost into people, situations and things. The day it, hits home, that all these people, situations and things that I'm lost in is all false. It does not even exist. When this completely drops off, yeah, that Purusha recognizes itself. Enlightenment is a two-step process basically. First is the dropping of the Maya, the shedding of the Maya, and then self-realization. He's talked about this earlier, you remember?
Yeah, this is clear.
Good. Okay. So the first paragraph on that page is again about the same thing, that the mysterious power of consciousness is nothing but Maya. Yeah, on account of Maya, which is inexplicable and miraculous, it produces this infinite diversity of name and form. Guruji has also spoken about name and form. Perfect. In Kathopanishad. Yeah, in details Guruji explained it to you. So name and form. What is name? You think of a rose. Rose is the name. And the form that comes into the mind is the form. Yeah. The whole world is name and form. Name and form. Yeah. Mitesh and that particular form. Himanshu and that particular form. Rupa and that particular form. Shalini and that particular form. Yeah. A pencil, an iPad, a phone, a book. Everything is just name and form. That's all it is. You getting this? Form is the sense of sight. Name is the sense of sound. Yeah? It's just sight and sound, sight and sound, sight and sound. Everything in this universe, wherever you see, is nothing but sight and sound. Yeah? Name and form. He says, because of this Maya, this inexplicable Maya, this mysterious power of Maya, this consciousness has divided into name and form, name and form, name and form. Yeah? And this inexplicable power he calls as egotism. Yeah? Ego. Name and form. I hope you're making your flow charts. Yeah? If you're not, you begin again. Yeah? He goes on to explain how this egotism has come into being, and it is not different from the consciousness. It is because of this ego, I think I and you. I have separated you from I, just because that form is different from this form. I am just stuck in the external form, in sight and sound. So he says, renounce these notions. Even the notion of a jiva. Renounce even the notion that this is a jiva. Everything. When all these have gone, you will realize the truth which is in the middle, between the real and the unreal. Very mysterious statement, huh? Yeah. You will realize the truth. It cannot be put in words. Yeah. It can only be experienced beyond a point. Yes. So whenever you read Yoga Vasistha from now on, meditate on that page. Yeah, see that you don't read more than one page in a day. Anyway, I'm just giving you a couple of pages of homework. Yeah. You just meditate on that particular page that I give you. So what does this mean? Think about it. And then you will have that aha moment. Yeah? Like Arunji had it this morning. Did you see the email? After that very beautiful point on that page is mind, intellect, egotism, the 5 great elements and the world. All these innumerable names and forms are all consciousness alone. Yeah? So you can make this on your chart. Mind, intellect, ego, the 5 elements, yeah, is all equal to consciousness. You've read that page, right? I don't need to do it. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll just do 1 or 2 main points on the page. Come to the 4th paragraph. When the notion of an external knowable has been removed, self-knowledge arises. See, huh? Only when this knowable completely drops off, only when it ceases. Yeah? Notion of the external ends, that time self-knowledge. That is the only moment self-knowledge will arise. Yeah? He also says, this world is nothing but the body of the consciousness. Yeah? There is no difference between this world, this creation, and the consciousness. Yeah? I explained this to you in detail, like a bracelet that is made of gold is not different from the gold that it comes from. Yeah? Just because you can have a name and a form assigned to it does not make it different from that block of gold. Just like that, this creation that has come out of that consciousness is not different. Yeah? It is the body of consciousness. There's one more very beautiful statement on that page. Yeah, you see that even as he the conch shell, yeah, you keep going ahead and you come to aroma is to a flower. Just like that, the universe is to consciousness. They cannot be separated. The world exists because consciousness is, and the world is the body of consciousness. Got it from where I got that? There is no division, no difference, no distinction. Hence, the universe can be said to be both real and unreal. How? Did you understand this? Bolo, how both real and unreal? Till now, though, he said everything is unreal. Now, suddenly, he says it is real also. Vasistha is very confusing, no?
Because it is just one. It could be either one of it.
Huh?
No, it is very clear in the next sentence where he says it is real because it is consciousness and consciousness is real. I mean, it's very simple. He states it in the next sentence itself.
And then why is it unreal?
Because of it's unreal because it's all Maya. It's all it's a perception. Everything because the form it takes into is not real. It's just part of the whole consciousness. It's just a perception. Like what we already earlier talked about, its name and form. So these are all perception. It's a creation of our mind. It's a creation of the real consciousness which came out of a thought, out of egotism or whatever.
So what is the main point? Why is it unreal?
The main point is it is real, at the same time it is not real. So being aware that everything is not real Because what is real is consciousness.
What is unreal? Why is it unreal?
Because it is made out of consciousness. So it's the perceiver perceives it as something else other than consciousness.
That is why it is unreal.
It's right there. You're reading it, no?
Yeah, because the reality of consciousness.
Why is it unreal?
Because the universe does not exist as universe independent of the unconscious.
That is the key.
Yeah.
It cannot exist independent of
Of
consciousness. Are you getting it? What is the meaning of real? Real means that which can exist by itself. If something cannot exist by itself, it needs some other support, is dependent on something else, is linked to something else, is because of something else. How can you call it real? Are you seeing what I'm saying? The fragrance in a flower is because of the flower. Without the flower, there is no fragrance. The fragrance cannot exist by itself. You get it? Just like that, this creation, this universe cannot exist by itself, independent of the consciousness. It cannot. It came from the consciousness. It is the consciousness. It goes back into the consciousness. A fragrance comes from the flower. If there is no flower, there is no fragrance. It's just like that. So therefore, you cannot say that exists only because of dependency is real. That which exists because of dependency cannot be real. Is this a little clear?
It's like the bracelet which cannot be made out of gold. So at the end of it, it is gold.
Correct. Correct. So it cannot exist independent of the block of gold. Yeah? That which cannot exist independently, that is not real. There's light in this room. If I put the lamp off, there is no light. So the light that is there right now, during the night, is dependent on that lamp. Yes? So the light is unreal because it cannot exist independent of that lamp. Are you getting it? Just like that, this creation cannot exist by itself. It is run by consciousness. It is created by consciousness. It moves because of consciousness. This Prakriti cannot exist without the consciousness inside. What happens at death? Who dies?
The body.
Beautiful. The Prakriti dies. Yes, the Purusha remains. Can this Prakriti move on itself and breathe on itself without the Purusha? Now is it clear? Therefore, Prakriti is unreal. Purusha is real. Yes, that is why when I say I am addressing the Purusha, not this body. That is why I say I have a body. I don't say I body. Are you getting it? That is the difference. Clear? Everybody is clear about this?
Yes.
Not just Rupa and Sandesh, everybody else. Hence, the universe can be said to be both real and unreal because of the reality of consciousness which is its own reality, and unreal because the universe does not exist as universe independent of consciousness. Yeah? It cannot exist independently. That which cannot exist independently is unreal. Yeah? At the same time, it is real because it is nothing but the consciousness. Clear? Yeah? That was a short summary of page 43. Now, if everybody is up to speed, can we go to page 44? Yes? Who will read? Who will start page 44?
Vasistha continued, O Rama, even as from the waking state experience, there is no materiality in the objects seen in a dream, though while dreaming the objects appear to be solid. This world appears to be material, yet in reality it is pure consciousness. There is not even a temporary or subtle river in the mirage. Even so, there is in no sense a real world, but only pure consciousness. Only knowledge based on ignorance clings to the notion of a world. In reality, there is no difference in the meaning of the words world, Brahman, or the infinite and self. The world is as true in relation to Brahman as the dream city is true in relation to the experience of the waking consciousness. Hence, world and cosmic consciousness are synonymous.
Okay. Yeah. So what is he saying here? There is no materiality in the objects. Yeah. It is just like it is in a dream. I had sent out an email on page 40 where you remember Jayashree's dream. Yeah, she sees Shah Rukh Khan and then I don't know, but Obama and Shah Rukh Khan are fighting and they are flying in air and they are superheroes, and Jayashree is all afraid and she's watching from the window, yeah, and she starts crying. This is a dream, but even a dream can seem so real that it evokes fear in you and tears flow. Yeah, sometimes you also wake up from a nightmare all sweating and scared and all afraid, right? Yeah. So a dream can really evoke physical reactions in you. Yes? You start thinking that it is real when you are in the dream. Exactly in the same way, this creation is unreal. Yeah? And we have started thinking that it is real. Yeah? That is the summary, the gist of this paragraph. Yeah, he says, even as from the waking state experience, there is no materiality in the objects seen in a dream, though while dreaming the objects appear to be solid, this world appears to be material, yet in reality it is pure consciousness. Yeah? It is not solid. And those who are watching Cosmos, I think by the time you come to episode 5 or 6, he also explains it to you how everything is not solid. It's just a vibration. And the same thing Vasistha will tell you ahead, that everything is just a vibration. It does not exist. A scientist went to Guruji recently and he said, Guruji, you know, all my life I have been researching matter only to find out that it does not exist. Yeah? Matter does not exist. everything that I see all around me is only matter, no? Yeah, so even science has come to that point in spirituality where even science says that it does not exist. Exactly the same thing Vasistha is saying. It is all pure consciousness. And consciousness is nothing but vibration. There is not even a temporary or subtle river in the mirage. Yeah, if your mind says that, maybe, she's seeing it like this, but maybe it has another meaning, But my wife exists, huh? And my house is really there. I don't know what she's talking about, but if your mind starts on this kind of a game, yeah, for those people, he has put this sentence. There is not even a temporary or subtle river in the mirage. It simply does not exist. Period. There is in no sense a real world, but only pure consciousness. Only knowledge based on ignorance clings to the notion of a world. Yeah? If you are still lost in the Maya, you will still keep thinking that this world is real and entertain that notion. In reality, there is no difference in the meaning of the words world, Brahman, or the infinite or the self. All four is the same. Yeah, it's like saying water, ice, and water vapor is all the same. Yeah, in essence, there is no difference. Yeah, it's the same thing he's saying here. There is no difference in the meaning of the words world, Brahman, infinite, or self. Clear so far? The world is as true in relation to Brahman as the dream city is true in relation to the experience of the waking consciousness. It's as simple as when Jayashree woke up from that dream. I hope you remember the email that I'm talking about. When Jayashree wakes up from the dream, she forgets. Yeah, they were just dream objects and it's gone. You don't even think about the dream. Yeah. So he's saying the same thing. It is just like a dream city to the Brahman. Yeah. Where once you are in the waking state, the waking consciousness, it does not exist. Hence, world and cosmic consciousness are synonymous. Clear? Yeah. So on your flow charts, you should have world, body of consciousness, mirage, dream. Yeah. From here, it's the easy part. Yeah, at least for a few pages. It's a story. So who will read the story?
To make all this crystal clear, O Rama, I shall now narrate to you the story of Mandapa. Pray, listen attentively. Once upon a time, O Rama, there was a king on earth called Padma. He was perfect in every respect, and by his own nature and conduct he enhanced the glory of his dynasty. He honored religious traditions even as the ocean respects the authority of the shore. He subdued his enemies even as the sun routs darkness. Even as fire reduces heat to ashes, he destroyed evil in society. Holy men resorted to him even as gods resort to heaven. He was the abode of virtue. He made his enemies tremble on the battlefield even as a gale ruffles a creeper. He was highly learned and a master of arts. To him there was nothing impossible of achievement. Even as to Lord Narayana, there was no impossibility. The king had a wife by name Leela. She was highly accomplished as a woman and was very beautiful. It appeared as if she was goddess Lakshmi, consort of Narayana, incarnate on earth. She was soft-spoken, her gait was slow and graceful, and her smile radiated the cool delight of moonlight. She was fair. She was sweet as honey. Her arms were soft and delicate. Her body was as pure and clear as the waters of the holy river Ganga. And even as a touch of the waters of the Ganga gives rise to bliss, to touch her was to experience bliss. She was highly devoted to her husband Padma and knew how to serve him and please him. She was one with the king and shared his joy and sorrow. She was in fact the alter ego of Padma, except that when the king became angry, she merely reflected fear.
Okay, this is very simple, these two paragraphs. We are talking about King Padma and his wife Leela. Yeah, it's all praising King Padma, how great he was and how centered and beautiful and the perfect wife Leela was, and a queen. Of course, they are king and queen. Yeah, that's all that is there in these two paragraphs. Yeah, the story ahead is more important than this little part. Yeah, so we'll continue reading. The next page, next two paragraphs are also the story. But now start paying more attention. Yes?
Vasistha continued, King Padma and Queen Leela lived an ideal life. They enjoyed their life in every possible and righteous way. They were young and youthful like the gods, and their love for each other was pure and intense, without any hypocrisy or artificiality. One day the Queen Leela thought, the most handsome king, who is my husband, is dearer to me than even my own life. What should I do in order that he and I may live forever, enjoying the pleasures of life? I shall immediately undertake such austerities as the Holy One would suggest, in order that I may fulfill my ambition. She sought the counsel of the Holy One, who said to her, O Queen, austerity or penance, repetition of mantra, and a disciplined life will surely bestow upon you all that is possible for one to attain in this world. But physical immortality is not possible of attainment in this world.
Okay. So what did she want?
Immortality.
That means she did not want to let go of this body, not only for herself, but she's asking for her husband. Yeah, she's ready to do all kinds of austerities and penance and whatever it takes for physical immortality. Are you understanding this? So far, are you with us? Okay. Yeah. Ghazal, you can continue.
Leela began to propitiate the goddess Saraswati immediately, without even discussing this project with her husband. The goddess Saraswati appeared before her and granted her the boon of her choice. Leela prayed, O Divine Mother, grant me two boons. One, when my husband departs from his body, let this jiva remain in the palace. And two, whenever I pray to you, let me see you. Saraswati granted these two boons and disappeared. Time inexorably passed. King Padma, who was mortally wounded on the battlefield, died in the palace. Queen Leela was inconsolable in grief. When she was thus sunk in grief, the ethereal voice of Saraswati said, My child, cover the king's body with flowers, then it will not decay. He will not leave the palace. Leela asked her, Pray, tell me where my husband is. O Leela, there are three types of space. The psychological space, the the physical space and the infinite space of consciousness. Of these, the most subtle is the infinite space of consciousness. By intense meditation on this infinite space of consciousness, you can see and experience the presence of one like your husband, whose body is that infinite space, even though you do not see him here. That is the infinite space which exists in the middle when the finite intelligence travels from one place to another, for it is infinite. If you give up all thoughts, you will hear and now attain to the realization of oneness with all. Normally, only he who has realized the utter non-existence of the universe can experience this, but you will do so by my grace.
Okay. King Padma dies. Yeah, he's wounded in war and he dies. She always wanted her husband to always be there. She wanted physical immortality for herself and her husband. So now what does she say? She prays to Goddess Saraswati, and what does she ask for?
His jiva remains in the palace.
Yes, he should always be in the palace. And second, that Saraswati should appear whenever she meditates upon Saraswati. So, King Padma, when he dies, she asks the Queen Leela to meditate upon the infinite space of consciousness. What did you understand from this? What are these three types of space? Physical, psychological, and infinite space of consciousness. What are these?
The physical is the one that we see. The psychological is the one that is with our intellect or mind. And the infinite is the real, I guess.
Beautiful. Yeah, almost there. This is the physical space. Everything that I see physically. Yeah. Let's take a simple meditation example. What does Guruji do? Panchakosha meditation. What does he tell you? Sit with your spine erect, close your eyes, take your attention to your body. What is this? Taking attention to the physical space. Yeah. Then, second, take your attention to
Your thoughts.
beautiful. Whatever thoughts are coming and going, let them come and go. You remember? Yeah. So that is the psychological space. This includes all four: mind, intellect, memory, and ego. All four fall under the psychological space. Yeah. So now, I'm sure you all have experience in your deep meditation that the thoughts hover around, trouble you for some time, bother you, but after some time you settle down completely. Yeah. Then they don't bug you so much. You are somewhere else only, in a very deep, quiet nothingness. Even if it is for a fraction of seconds, but you have all experienced it, right? Yeah. That nothingness, that quietness that you experience many times after long kriya, that is that infinite space of consciousness. Yes, it's very difficult to be there, no? The mind keeps coming up again and again, again and again. Yeah. So what did Saraswati say to Queen Leela? That you meditate upon that infinite space of consciousness. Yeah, I mean, she earnestly did it. Yeah. Now see, she could earnestly do it because she was told her husband is there. And that was her biggest raga, no? Yeah, so she could easily disassociate with this physical world and drop everything from the mind and go deep into meditation. And when she went into that deepest state of meditation, that's where she meets her husband. So we'll read the next paragraph to understand. But till here it's clear? What are the three types of space? Yeah, and understand this infinite space of consciousness exists when you move from point A to point B. What is the meaning of point A to point B? When you drop the body, yeah, when her husband dropped the body, yeah, he's moving from point A to another point B, whatever impressions he has collected, yeah, he'll find another body here. But there is some time, there is some space in between these two movements, between A and B. Yeah. Maybe here he's a king and now next lifetime he's going to be a pauper. But there is some more time before that happens. During that time, where are you? The physical body is gone. The Sama bag, its impressions, its vasanas, is in the infinite state of consciousness. That is why Saraswati asked her to meditate upon this infinite space of consciousness. Got it?
Vasistha continued. Leela began to meditate. Immediately, she entered the higher state of consciousness, free from all distraction, nirvikalpa. She was in the infinite space of consciousness. There she saw the king once again, on a throne, surrounded by many kings who adored him. But they did not see her. She wondered, are they all dead too? Again, by the grace of Goddess Saraswati, she came back to the palace and saw her attendants asleep. She woke them and asked them to request the members of the royal court to assemble at once.
Okay. What is the dilemma? Tell me, what is her dilemma?
She saw the other people who used to be in her husband's court present around him when she went into that infinite space of consciousness. So she was not sure if they were also all dead. That was the dilemma.
Yeah, but when she comes back to the palace,
she sees them sleeping and then calls them.
Got it? Yeah, and she asks everybody to assemble. Yeah, her question is very similar to Ashtavakra number 1, where Janaka asked this question: what is real and what is unreal? Yeah, is that a dream or is this a dream? It's the same situation where now Leela is. Yeah, slightly different words, but state of mind is the same. Clear? Any questions on this page before we move ahead? No? Okay. Page 46. Now who will read? Somebody else.
Me?
Sure.
Vasistha continued. Seeing all the members of the royal court, Leela was puzzled, she thought. This is strange, for these people seem to exist in two places at the same time. In that region which I saw in my meditation and here in front of me. Just as a mountain is seen both inside the mirror and outside is, this creation is seen both within consciousness and outside it. But which of this is real and which the reflection? I must find out from Saraswati. She adored Saraswati and Sati in front of. Leela asked, be gracious, O goddess, and tell me this. That on which this world is reflected is extremely pure and undivided, and it is not the object of knowledge. This world exists both within it as its reflection and outside as solid matter. Which is real and which the reflection?
Her question is similar to Janaka's question. Yeah. Look at the letters in bold. Just as a mountain is seen both inside the mirror and outside it, this creation is seen both within the consciousness and outside it. You can put it on your flow chart like that. Yeah. Just because you see something here in front of you in the physical plane, when you move into the infinite space of consciousness, you can still see it. Let's make it simpler. Have you all gone to a circus? In a circus, in some of those weird rooms, you have thousands of mirrors or concave and convex mirrors all around you. And when you enter the room, in all the mirrors you will see yourself. There will be thousands of Ektas when I enter that room. Has Ekta got divided into thousands? It is just an apparent illusion. Are you getting this? Just like that. This consciousness is one only. It is just an apparent illusion that it is so many name and form, name and form, name and form, name and form. Actually, it is just one. And it's not that in one mirror you will see only one Ekta. If you look at the mirror on the left hand side, you will see the Ekta standing here, plus you will see the reflection of the other Ektas in the other mirrors. So in one particular mirror, you see another Ekta and then another Ekta and another Ekta and another Ekta. Are you getting what I'm saying? There's a world inside a world, there is a world inside another world, and inside another world, inside another world. Just like that. Understand that this consciousness is present everywhere. In the physical plane, in the psychological plane, and in the infinite space of consciousness. There is no disconnect. It's only us who in Prakriti, when we leave the Prakriti, leave the physical plane and we move towards the infinite state of consciousness. There is no difference for you when you move out of this. You will still see the physical. Yeah?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was not clear to me. Why you said when we move to the infinite consciousness, to that space, we will still see the physical?
Absolutely. You will see everything. Everything is still there. Yeah? The answer is ahead. I don't want to give out the answer right now. Yeah? It's there. She asked the same question and we'll come to the answer. Yeah? So can you read, Rajiv?
Sure. Saraswati asked, tell me first, what do you consider real and what unreal? Leela answered, that I am here and you are in front of me. This I consider real. That region in which my husband is now, that I consider unreal. Saraswati said, how can the unreal be the effect of the real? The effect is the cause. There is no essential difference. Even in the case of a pot which is able to hold water, whereas its cause, clay, cannot. This difference is due to the cooperative causes. The material cause of your husband's birth. For only material effects are produced by material causes. Hence, when you find no immediate cause for an effect, then surely the cause existed in the past. Memory. Memory is like space, empty. all creation here is the effect of that emptiness, and hence the creation is empty too. Even as the birth of your husband is an illusion product of memory, I see all this as an illusion and unreal effect of imagination.
Okay. Confused thoroughly?
Yes.
Unnecessarily, it's been complicated. It's very simple. What did she consider real? What do you consider real? Answer like her. You are Leela. What do you consider real?
The fact that you are sitting in front of us.
Yes, you and I are real. That is what she's saying. What is unreal?
Whatever she saw while she was meditation kind of felt like a dream to her.
She's saying that region where my husband is after leaving the physical body, that is unreal. Yeah? She's not talking about her meditation. She believes it completely, 100%. No doubts there. She has complete faith in it. She's just saying, this is real and that I consider unreal. Yeah? After leaving this physical body, then only will you go there. Correct?
Yes.
Yeah? So what is the cause? What is the effect? This is the cause. Going to that side is the effect. Clear? Cause and effect have to be of the same nature. Yeah? A material cause cannot lead to an immaterial effect. Basic physics. That's all that is there here. A material cause will lead to a material effect. Material cause is the birth of this body. When this body died, is the effect material? Is the husband material now?
No.
Got it? So that is why she's saying, if material cause leads to material effect, your husband's body, yeah? From where did it come? How did you get birth? Forget her husband's body. How did you get birth? Why have you got birth? Why did Rupa come in that body? Why did Shalini come in that body? Why did Shruti come in that body? Why?
By the thought of the creation that we got into a jiva, and then we thought we could see it, so we got eyes and we got this body eventually over the period of time, I guess, and with the bag of karma, we got this particular body.
Beautiful. So, Rupa got this material effect of this body came from an immaterial cause, which is karma. Is your impression? Is it material or immaterial?
Immaterial.
Got it? Yeah? An immaterial cause has led to a material body, which I think is material. That is why I think this material is real and this immaterial cause is unreal. After this body completes its karma, it dies. Do you also die?
No.
No, you move on. Again, this material cause of your life, when it ended, gave to an immaterial effect, which is going into the infinite space of consciousness. Yeah? Again, you will be hovering over there for some time, and then because of some impression, again you will get a birth. Are you seeing this? So, here he proves it to you that her husband's body, yeah, he got his birth from a non-material cause, that is the impression, whatever impression he had in his past life, that was the reason that gave him his body, yeah, at birth. This non-material cause is nothing but emptiness, yeah. Why is it emptiness? Because it is memory, huh? Many of you used to ask me this question, no? Where are the impressions stored? Where is this karma bag? Yeah, this karma bag attaches to your memory. So your memory has a conscious part and a subconscious part. Yeah, your conscious memory lets you remember, okay, I am Shruti, this is my house, this is where I should go. Yeah, this is my office. Subconscious memory stores all the impressions of Shruti's past, past lifetimes, the strongest impressions. They are now, even though this memory is storing all this conscious and subconscious events of the past, is it material?
No.
Get it? It is nothing but emptiness. Emptiness can only give rise to emptiness. Therefore, he says your body, your so-called material body, is nothing but emptiness. Yeah? Emptiness gives rise to emptiness.
So essentially, he's just trying to explain her that what she thinks real, her and Saraswati, is not real.
Correct. Absolutely. To the point.
So when she talks about she's seeing her husband with another people, it's just a concept again. It's to put it in a words, because eventually it's a non-physical substance.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So just to explain it or make a story for us to understand it.
Correct. This whole thing is just a story, huh? Please take it as a story rather than an event. It is to make you understand how this consciousness exists at so many different planes. Yeah? Just because you and I exist on the physical plane, it limits us to the physical plane. But there are 13 other planes beyond this physical plane. Yeah, he's addressed this also before. There are total 14 planes of existence. Yeah, in these other 13 planes which you and I cannot see with this eyes, yeah, the consciousness exists there also. Yeah, it has all come out of emptiness. Even this matter, this physical plane, you and I call it the physical plane. Those 13 planes of existence don't call it the physical plane. Yeah, matter does not exist. It is only a vibration. Only consciousness exists. Yeah, it will be explained a little more in detail as we keep going ahead slowly and slowly. But so far it's clear, no? What he's trying to tell her. Yeah? Drop your concept of real and unreal. Just drop, let go. Yeah? If your body can be formed because of one impression of the past, and at the death of this body, it can go back into just an impression, this body does not exist only. You came from emptiness and you go back into emptiness. Just because of one karma impression, you were born in this physical form. How can you call this physical or material? It is actually emptiness. It is only a vibration. It does not exist. We'll go ahead.
I narrate you a story which illustrates the dreamlike nature of this creation. In pure consciousness, in a corner of the mind of the Creator, there was a dilapidated shrine covered with a blue dome. It had the four words for
divisions of space were holes in it. The sun was light. In it, there were little ant hills, little piles of earth, and little pool of water. This is creation, the universe. In a very small corner of it, there lived a holy man with his wife and children. He was healthy and free from fear. He performed his religious and social duties well. That holy man was known as Vasistha, and his wife was Arundhati. One day, he saw a colorful procession with a king riding a stately elephant, followed by an army and other royal paraphernalia. Looking at this, a wish arose in his heart. When will I ride a royal elephant like that and be followed by an army like this?
Continue. The story continues.
Saraswati continued. Sometime after this, the holy man grew old, and then death overtook him. His wife, who was highly devoted to him, prayed to him and asked for the same boon that you had asked for, that her husband's spirit should not leave her house. I granted her that boon, though that holy man was an ethereal being on account of the power of his constant wish. During the previous lifespan, he became a mighty king and ruled over a great empire, which resembled heaven on earth. Arundhati had also given up her body and obtained reunion with her husband. It is 8 days since this happened. Leela, it is same holy man who is now your husband, the king, and you are the same Arundhati who was his wife. On account of ignorance and delusion, it seemed that all this take place in the infinite consciousness, though in reality nothing happened. I do not utter falsehood, but I am telling you the truth. It sounds incredible, but this kingdom appears to be the only in the heart of the holy man, on account of his desire for a kingdom. The memory of the past is hidden, and you too have risen again. Death is but walking from a dream. Birth, which arises from a wish, is no more real than is wish, like wave in the mirage. But after the creation of all this in the holy man's house, it remained as it was before. Indeed, in every atom, there are world within the world.
Okay. Yeah, so you got it? Vasistha had this thought in the mind that I want to be a king and I want to have a procession like that. He saw a procession and a desire arose in his mind. What did that desire do?
Gave him a birth as a king in his next life.
Yeah, it became the strongest impression in his mind. And that strongest impression led to his next birth as King Padma. Yeah, and his wife also, Arundhati, who was Vasistha's wife, she took the birth as Queen Leela. That's how, just because of that one strong desire, they both came back again. Yeah. Look at the second paragraph. Yeah. Leela, it is the same holy man who is now your husband, the king, and you are the same Arundhati who was his wife. On account of ignorance and delusion, it seems that all this takes place in the infinite consciousness, though in reality nothing happens. It sounds incredible, but this kingdom appears to be only in the heart of the holy man. on account of his desire for a kingdom. The memory of the past is hidden, and you too have risen again. Death is but waking from a dream, and birth, which arises from a wish, is no more real than the wish, like waves in a mirage. Even after the creation of all this in the holy man's house, it remained as it was before. Indeed, in every atom, there are worlds within worlds. Do you get this? You are in the body of Shruti, you are in the body of Shalini, you are Rupa, you are Sandesh, you are Charu, you are Venkat, you are Harish. You came into this because of a past impression. Get it? Even in that past impression, whatever you were because of another past impression, way behind in the past. And behind that also there was another past impression. And way back in the past there was another past impression. Now do you understand? There is a world inside a world, there is a world, another world inside another world. Got it? Yeah. The most beautiful statement there is, death is but waking from a dream, and birth, which arises from a wish, is no more real than the wish. Like waves in a mirage. Does a mirage exist? No. Just like that, your birth as Shalini, as Shruti, as Venkat, as Rajiv, as Charu, it does not exist. You really do not exist. Yeah? Scaring you, huh? Birth arises from a desire. Yeah? And it is nothing but a dream. It is just a dream. Sometimes you're sitting in office and you're getting very bored and you start dreaming. And you're dreaming all kinds of weird things, making castles in the air. Have you noticed? In those castles, everything is real. There is really, you're flying an airplane and suddenly you are 1,000 feet below the surface of the sea. You've become a fish and suddenly you become a bird and you're flying. All kind of weird things you'll see. Yeah? And then suddenly you wake up from a dream. That's exactly what will happen at death. Are you getting what I'm saying? When you get out of this body. Huh?
That's previously mentioned as you become the infinite consciousness.
Absolutely. Yeah, the moment you leave this body, it's like waking up from a dream. Yeah, that moment you will know, oh, it was that impression of mine that gave me this birth as Shruti, or gave me this birth, this lifetime as Rupa, or gave me this lifetime as Rajiv. Yeah? Right at the moment of death, it is like waking up from a dream.
But for the enlightened ones, it actually happens before death.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is what Vasistha is telling you. Before death comes to you, you die. Yeah? Dropping this mind and this creation, yeah, I willingly die. Please do not try to commit suicide. I am not even advocating that. Yeah? We are not talking about physical death here. Yeah? When the mind becomes no mind. Even Ashtavakra spoke about it. Yeah? Before the body drops you, you come first. Yeah? You drop this mind and this creation and this world. But if in this lifetime you do not get enlightened, yeah, at death, death is like waking up from your dream. Yeah, and how you say, in the morning, so funny, what a rubbish dream I saw. Yeah, that's exactly what you're going to say. Oh, that was so rubbish. Yeah, that birth as Shalini, what did I do? Yeah, for that one little impression that I had. Yeah, that's exactly what will happen at death. The most important sentence in that paragraph. Yeah, so highlight it. Yeah, write it down in your flowchart. Birth arises from desire and is nothing but a dream. Death is nothing but waking from that dream. So far clear? Are you shocked enough? Or not yet? Yeah, you do not exist. You are just a dream. Your own dream. Yeah, you are just in a dream. This entire life is just a dream. Even me teaching this knowledge to you, this is also in the dream. Yeah. Sometimes it has happened, no, that you are dreaming and you know you are dreaming. Has that happened? Yeah. Even for one instant, the moment you know you are dreaming, that dream stops. It goes away. Yeah. In your dream, when you know you are dreaming, the dream drops off. In this dream of this life as Ekta, when I wake up, yeah, and see, oh, this is a dream, the unreality of this creation drops off. That is self-realization. Get it? I don't even have to wait for death. It will happen right here in this body. You see what I'm saying? Yeah? So tonight when you go to sleep, just tell yourself, this is also a dream. Now within a dream, I'm going to have another dream. Yeah? Go to sleep with this. When you go to office tomorrow morning, this is all happening in a dream. Yeah? When you're cooking food, this is also a dream. Yeah? When you're doing whatever you are doing tomorrow, all day, at work, at home, this is all a dream. Yeah? That's your homework number 1 for today. Yeah? Now we'll read the question ahead about the 8 days time. Yeah? How only 8 days have passed? Do you understand what she's saying? Only 8 days have passed between her previous lifetime and this lifetime, literally translated. Saying, how can it be possible?
Timing is different.
Yeah. So now we'll read it.
Leela asked, "O goddess, you said that it was only 8 days ago that the holy man had died. And yet my husband and I have lived for a long time. How can you reconcile this discrepancy?" Saraswati said, "O Leela, just as space does not have a fixed span, time does not have a fixed span either. Just as the world and its creation are mere appearances, a moment and an epoch are also imaginary, not real. In the twinkling of an eye, the jiva undergoes the illusion of the death experience, forgets what happened before that, and in the infinite consciousness thinks, I am this, etc., and I am his son, I am so many years old, etc. Even as in a dream, there is birth, death, and relationship, all in a very short time, even as a lover feels that a single night without his beloved is an epoch, The jiva thinks of experienced and non-experienced objects in the twinkling of an eye, and immediately thereafter he imagines those things, the world, to be real. Even those things which he had not experienced nor seen present themselves before him as in a dream. This situation is nothing but memory, dream. Distance and measures of time, like a moment and an age, and are all hallucinations. This is one kind of knowledge, memory. There is another which is not based on memory of past experiences. This is the fortuitous meaning of atoms in consciousness, which are then able to produce their own effects.
Yeah. So do you get it? Space and time we think is this much, is fixed, but actually that also does not exist. I think during one of the Upanishads weekend in Cincinnati, Aditya showed you the space-time in a dupatta and explained it to you. Yeah, space and time do not really exist. Yeah, time is not what you see. We see the past, the present, and the future. It is all there. Yeah, but we only see this much right now. That's it. The rest is all there behind. Yeah, our vision is limited. Yeah, we have a fixed span for space and for time, but it is not like that. Yeah, when you have the perspective of the entire existence. So, okay, I've not written it here, but you can write this, that space and time, space on one side and time on the other side, does not have a fixed span. Just as the world and its creation are mere appearances, a moment and an epoch are also imaginary. Yeah, even time is imaginary. It does not exist. Yeah. And he gave you example, like when you are dreaming, in the dream you see so many things, no? It may be just a dream, a very small dream of half an hour, 1 hour, but in that dream you have become, you've become an adult, and then you become, an old man, and you also die in the dream. So many years pass. Yeah, in a few moments you can dream so many things. Yeah, if you're a bachelor, a wife comes up, the kids come up, the kids' kids come up, they get married, and their kids also come up. Yeah. In a few moments, I can dream so many things. Just like that, this life is. It is all imaginary. It does not exist. Time does not exist. Just in the twinkling of an eye or the blink of an eye, so many events pass. We think that it is taking so much time, but it is not like that. That's all that is said in this paragraph. The last paragraph is important. This world and this creation is nothing but memory. Why memory again? Why?
Karma.
All my impressions of the past are stored in my memory. Because of my impressions only, I come back again and again and again into this dreamlike state called creation. Get it? So this world and this creation is nothing but memory. It is a dream. Distance and measures of time, like a moment and an age, are all hallucinations, because distance and time belong to this memory, this dream that I am getting into because of my impression. This is one kind of knowledge, yeah, the knowledge of memory. Simple, Simply putting it, it is Sanchita Karma. Yeah, you all understand Sanchita Karma. We've done a karma session before. Yeah, simply put, these two lines are talking about Sanchita Karma. Yeah. There is another which is not based on memory of past experience. This is the fortuitous meeting of atoms in consciousness, which are then able to produce their own effects. What is he talking about? Beautiful. This is Agami Karma. Yeah, whatever I do now, what does it lead to? More impressions. I am throwing out seeds. And in future, those are again going to sprout. So, when they sprout, they produce their own effects. Got it? So, the last paragraph is Sanchita Karma, memory of the past, and Agami. I just put an equation over there. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. You can do whatever. Clear? Very simple, no? Tonight, go back to sleep with this understanding. This is all a dream. Yes, I am in a dream. And this dream happened because of my some impression, some Sanchita Karma impression, which I gave undue importance to. Some little desire. I want to be a king or a queen. I want to have $1 million, or I want to drive that Mercedes, or whatever that silly little impression was, that has led to this body. Yeah, and this is a dream phase. And death, I'm going to anyway wake up. I'm going to wake up from this dream. It does not exist. I do not exist. Go back to bed tonight with this thought in mind. Yeah. Tomorrow, you come back and read these 2-3 pages again. Yeah, it's kind of heavy. It's very, very intense. I understand that. Yeah, so read these 2-3 pages again. And for your homework, just read 2 pages for this week. 48 and 49. That's it. Just 2 pages, and you will read the entire story again. Yeah, till page 49, read it second time. Create your flow charts. Yeah. See how is your understanding. Is it clear or not? Yeah. If you have any doubts, you can send me a question. Okay? Jai Gurudev.